Yes, sir. My Tricka. Back up in this thing, man. Today, I'll be breaking down some creepy videos that might leave you in shock. Let's get it.
Tesla deleted the videos. California, 109 outside. Mom seen here goes to charge her Tesla and it locks. Inside the car is her infant baby. This is her swinging, trying to break the window to get to her baby. There was a group of people who were helping her. It took them 6-7 minutes to get into the car. The baby was completely drenched with sweat and she was frantic. She talked to Tesla and initially they said it was probably a software issue that locked your car. And then they dug further and said it wasn't a software issue. But the interesting fact is that when she took it to get serviced at Tesla, out of all the video the car recorded, this is actual footage from the car. The car recorded her pounding on the car trying to get in. They deleted this footage. Tesla deleted the footage of that day when the car locked and her kid was trapped in the car. And when she said, "Why did you delete that footage?" the Tesla service reps didn't say anything. Makes you go, why have a Tesla if it's going to lock you out of the car? I don't know.
I would rather ride a unicycle to work every day than have a car that locks you out because of a software issue.
Starbucks, we are going cashless. On the 1st of October 2024, we will be only accepting card, contactless and Starbucks reward payments. Please get to our team for further details. The only details I want to know is why. I don't have cash and contactless. Only doing yourself no favours whatsoever, because we're people who want to use cash who'll stop using Starbucks. It's pointless this. I don't get this whole cashless thing. Cash is a legal tendency. Cash is king. Every big organisation thinks he can just get rid of it and just use contactless. Bolton Wanderers, my football stadium where I go and watch football, cashless. Everything's contactless. Not that bite much because it's a rip-off. But do you think it's going a little bit too far now with the whole cashless society? Everything's got to be contactless. It's a scary thing for me to think forward of where we're heading. There'll be no such thing as cash. You take cash out of the equation as we exist now, it's pretty scary. Who's in control of that cash? I think a few companies have gone back on it, like Tesco's and the supermarkets. Some of the supermarkets have gone back on it.
I don't know if this is at every location, but I'm surprised with how expensive Starbucks is that they're being picky about the form of payment. You already got to take out a 30-year fixed mortgage to buy a cappuccino. And now they want to usher in a cashless society.
If everyone knew what I'm about to say and knew the ramifications of it, a lot of companies would go out of business. Perhaps that's hopeful thinking, but wait until you hear this. There's a lot of food-like products out there. And notice I don't call them food. It's not food. It's food-like products, which contain aspartame. If everyone knew where aspartame comes from, how they make it, they would want to not be taking it anymore. Thus, things would change. So to make aspartame, they have to do something very interesting. They take a strain of genetically modified E. coli, and then the waste product, the fecal matter of the E. coli bacteria genetically modified, the fecal matter is aspartame, and that's what is revealed in the aspartame patent. E. coli feces used. Now you can't tell me that doesn't sound like evil scientist stuff. And somehow it's approved to be in thousands of different food products. Not to mention the other preservatives, genetically modified stuff, pesticides and herbicides. Today, if you're not prioritizing wellness, you're going to be making time for ailments, you could say.
The deception is real because sure, the label says that it's sugar-free, but little do you know you sipping on E. coli cola.
Apparently Google Maps now has a feature that will tell the police your location when you're going above the speed limit. I was going 45, talking about you was going 46. We're going to have to put you in the slammer.
Nobody asked for this update. You might as well be riding around with a police officer in your backseat. From now on, I'm leaving my phone at home and using the stars to navigate like Magellan.
The fall of Diddy is very much being televised, and we're getting more and more information about why the feds arrested him and what they found in his various properties across the country. And it included an obscene amount of baby oil. Diddy's Miami house had over 1,000 bottles of baby oil among various freak-off supplies, police documents reveal. There were various disturbing things revealed in these documents, but to me, the most disturbing is the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 1,000 bottles of baby oil. 1,000. How do you even amass that many bottles of baby oil? Lock them up. Lock them up just for that. I don't care what else the documents reveal. I don't care what else the lawyers prove or don't prove. This is enough. This is enough.
1,000 bottles. I know the execs at Johnson & Johnson are panicking now that their biggest customer is off the street. And if you want to participate in one of Diddy's freak-offs, you better wear some non-slip shoes, because I know the floors are greasy.
The CIA can hack into your car and drive it remotely if they wanted to, making for nearly undetectable accidents. This fact was in one of the many leaked CIA documents from the Vault 7 release published by the infamous WikiLeaks back in 2017. And in case you missed those or just weren't paying attention when it happened, these are some of the most insane leaks from those documents that were downplayed by the media, so no one talked about them. Now, these have all been made public and the information is out there for anyone to find, so calm down there, Mr. FBI guy, it's just journalism. The FBI intentionally distributes viruses and keyloggers that all mainstream antivirus software are legally not allowed to detect. They didn't break encryption, they just bypassed it. The CIA and MI5, British intelligence, have tools that can turn any smart device like your phone, TVs, Amazon Alexas into listening devices at any time and spy on you. Then, according to these documents, the CIA lost control of these powerful malware and spying tools when they got hacked, meaning these tools are now in the hands of anonymous hackers that can do anything they want with it. And oh, it just keeps getting worse from here. Note, these were all once highly classified documents, but have since been publicly disclosed by Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks.
We can't even trust them to keep track of the very software they use to spy on us. How do you create the strongest hacks in the world and then get hacked?
You have the chance to look forward to a career of 50 years. In my own opinion, yeah. Maybe more, you will get some injections and so on. And then don't forget your avatar will continue to live. So, and your brain will be replicated through artificial intelligence and algorithm. So we don't know, but at least 50 years.
Every idea that Klaus Schwab comes up with sounds miserable. Kim Jong-un must be writing his speeches. Maybe an airplane just passed behind that cloud, changing the way that the light reflected off of it, but it looks like Project Bluebeam's daytime projectors just malfunctioned. I'm stumped.
The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified. It's not people that are looking at those cameras, it's AI that's looking at the camera. No, you can't do this. It would be like that's going to be an event that's immediately, an alarm is going to go off. It's going to be, and we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised at all times. And the supervision will, and if there's a problem, AI will report the problem and report it to the appropriate person, whether it's the sheriff or the chief or whomever we need to take control of the situation. We have, same thing. We have drones. If there's something going on in a shopping center, and I'll stop. A drone goes out there, get there way faster than a police car.
These billionaires seem to have a little too much trust in artificial intelligence. At this point, they might as well just put the Tesla Optimus robot on the ballot in November. There's already enough to worry about just flying on a Boeing, but now you got to worry about Bill Gates' mosquitoes getting loose too.
In 2020, Michael Moore produced a documentary called Planet of the Humans. In this documentary, director Jeff Gibbs sets out to show the magic behind green energy. only to find out that it's an absolute scam. It first starts when Jeff goes to the release of a brand new electric vehicle. Check it out.
It's as simple as that.
What's charging the batteries right now? What's the source of
electricity?
Here,
it's coming from the building.
I mean, is it what's our mix of power?
Oh, actually, Lansing feeds the building.
Right now, the car is charging off of your grid.
Right. It would be charging off our grid, which is about 95% coal.
The next revelation about the green energy scam comes when Jeff finds out that solar panels are made of coal and quartz.
So you start with a very high quality quartz and a very high quality coal. And then you put those two together into an arc furnace and you melt them.
The quartz is then melted with coal in a large furnace at temperatures of up to 1,800 degrees.
So you need more coal to do that. So I get another coal out. That's when we melt these together, we get silicon metal and carbon dioxide. And the carbon dioxide just goes off and you got rid of the carbon, you're left with silicon metal.
If you want to check out more of this documentary, it's called Planet of the Humans, and it's free on YouTube.
Maybe if they added solar panels to the electric vehicles, it would be considered green. But until then, you still have emissions from the coal plant used to charge the vehicle. So you might as well be driving a Mack truck.
So who owns Maui? After the state of Hawaii, who owns over 154,000 acres on Maui, Alexander and Baldwin is the second largest landowner at over 65,000 acres, and the U.S. government is the third largest landowner at over 33,000 acres. Okay, so let's take a look at the investors behind Alexander and Baldwin. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Interesting, don't you think?
How did I know?
Out. Oh, he's back. He's not feeling so well. Oh wait, I gotta push start. Oh, I missed all that. Oh my God, Mom! I hope you got it. Oh.
Everything you know is wrong?
Dude, that whole thing.
Whoa,
I thought
what
I was recording, I wasn't. Did you record that? Ah, so disappointing.
Yo, are you guys not seeing this?
No, I was seeing it and I thought I was recording it the
whole
whole time.
No, are you not
but
seeing?
I wasn't. Steven, I want to.
That's crazy, bro. It's right in front of our faces, bro. What the?
Dude, that's like you could almost reach out and touch it, huh? We got our own television show right here. We're watching. It's
I remember they used this same graphic for the U2 concerts last year, so maybe they're promoting an upcoming show. But just looking at it for a second has me feeling like I just got out of an MK Ultra session.
Websites you've never seen before, part 68. This website creates fake videos of you using AI, but it takes it one step further. People can actually have a conversation with them. First, go ahead and join the call.
Hey there, how's it going? What's on your mind?
Can you tell me what I'm holding in my hand?
You're holding a smartphone, my friend. How's that screen looking?
What do I have on my face?
You got a beard, buddy, and some glasses, I noticed.
Can you show me what the text on my top says?
Okay, I'm not sure what the show says.
Can you see it? Can you see it now?
So, brainy automations, huh? Sounds like you're a fan of AI. See, it just...
The world's gone crazy.
They need to take this website down because it's only going to be used to scam people.
This footage shows a fish poking its head out of the mud. But things get strange when smoke appears from its mouth. Even when its head is fully up, the fish continues to exhale smoke. What could cause this bizarre behavior?
I highly doubt that this video is legit unless it's some sort of chemical reaction, and if it was real, Snoop Dogg would already have 10 of these fish in his aquarium.
Going down in the Titan submersible.
I told him I'm not getting in it.
A former engineering director at OceanGate, the company that made the Titan submersible, testified on Monday the vessel was riddled with problems for years before making its final fatal attempt to reach the Titanic shipwreck.
Once they asked me to sign off on the idea that they're going to put passengers and go to the Titanic, and told them no.
Tony Nissen said OceanGate co-founder Stockton Rush was often focused on keeping costs low and staying on schedule, and that when Nissen didn't approve a test expedition after finding a crack in the Titan's hull, Rush fired him.
When did you get fired? June 2019. Because I wouldn't let him go to the Titanic.
The Coast Guard also revealed that the Titan later suffered more than 100 equipment issues on several test dives, and at one point was left uncovered in a parking lot for 7 months, exposed to heat and snow. A new photo of the Titan's tail cone found on the ocean floor was shown for the first time on Monday.
He made a terrible decision not listening to the engineer, and I'm sure the other passengers would have never got in that submarine if they knew it was sitting in a parking lot for 7 months like an old Buick.
The red shoe, it's always had an importance, a relevancy, a symbolic meaning in our world. Like for the Pope, for example, he chose to wear these red papacy shoes as a symbol for, correct me if I'm wrong, but Catholic martyrs. This is to represent the inner liquids of Catholic martyrs. So outside of religion, what would the meaning of red shoes be? Like, why would famous, rich people, a big group of them, oftentimes be wearing red shoes all together? Why? Ask yourselves this. Would the son of a billionaire make his own red shoe brand? Why would he then proceed to wear his own shoes at an event and then label the event the Devil's Heaven? So yeah, the red shoe crew is definitely something that I've been looking into. It's definitely something that I think everybody should be looking into. If you know about the red shoe crew, please post in the comments for anybody that doesn't know. If you don't know, go and read in the comments of all the smart people who are about to tell you.
I've heard whispers about the Red Shoe Club, but I can't talk about it in this video or YouTube will send this channel to the shadow realm. Just look up Macaulay Culkin Red Shoe Club.
Started watching the Katy Perry performance and this stood out to me. So, I mean, it's no secret that the US and MKUltra is a very real concept. You can look up the CIA declassified. So, why would one of the biggest pop stars in the world right now, Katy Perry, be holding a Monarch butterfly? Isn't it kind of weird, you guys? So I asked the dark version of ChatGPT. I like to talk to AI because they're rational. They're going to give you pretty much a logical answer. So I said, isn't it strange that, you know, tonight Katy Perry is holding, you know, a Monarch butterfly? And let's just be real, isn't Project Monarch, which is the one that's associated with celebrities, pretty well known around the world? Yeah, and he agreed. He's like, yeah, isn't it ironic? It's almost as if they are flaunting their influence right in front of the unsuspecting masses. And I honestly think people get a kick out of that. I think a lot of what we see in the imagery that is put out is not just to taunt us, but also to see, like, how much can we do?
They didn't try to hide the Project Monarch symbolism at all. You know it's super blatant when ChatGPT agrees.
EU has just brought forward into law a digital ID.
EU's much delayed new border control system means that non-EU nationals, including people from the UK, will have to register their fingerprints and a photo before being allowed into the bloc.
If you're thinking about traveling to the UK, you're going to need one in less than 90 days. They've issued a date sometime in November. It's not a firm date just yet. So it's actually going to be 70 days from now. You know, this is here. This is basically right now. In America, they're bringing forward something called the Real ID, which is coming into law next year. You'll need this to travel anywhere throughout America.
Changes are coming to travel requirements if you want to fly within the United States. The new deadline for domestic flyers is now May 7th, 2025.
Make sure your state-issued driver's license or ID card is Real ID compliant. And if you don't, you won't be able to board flights or access federal facilities.
Now, they've talked for a very, very long time about, you know, social credit and things like that. And, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, that would have seemed far-fetched, tinfoil hat type of conversation. But now, you know, it's getting a lot more real. It's getting a lot more real. A Chinese-style social credit system is coming to America. This came out May of 2024. Came out just a few months ago. Then, you know, they kind of peppered this in a few years ago, saying America's own social credit system coming soon. Well, it's here now. It's here now.
The only reason I feel like countries in the West won't ever have a full-fledged social credit system is because these corporations are way too greedy to deny any customers. If it wasn't for that, we would be cooked.
Who's at the very top? Who really
rules the world. And I discovered it's a very, very interesting history of ancient Iranian tribes, the original Zoroastrians, and the first world Persian Empire that has controlled the world for the last 5,000 years. The entities that created the Jesuits during the Renaissance in Italy, it was none other than Alessandro Farnese, a Persian. They have 10 bloodline families that sit on a council, and they're the ones who advise the Jesuits. The Jesuits work for the Iranian bloodlines, and the Jesuits were created by Alessandro Farnese, who became Pope Paul III. We're talking about a global network with one template carrying all of this out. And originates with those ancient Iranian bloodlines. The Romans, the Etruscans, the Holy Roman Empire, they're all Iranians, they're all Persians.
I know it's all just speculation, but whoever truly does rule this world needs to hand over the throne ASAP because the system is in shambles.
Just got home from the store, and guess what I found? It looks like a finger, or maybe it's the tree. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Maybe the tree's roots just grew like that, but it looks like Shaquille O'Neal's pinky toe busting through the ground.
Richard Byrd was not only an active Freemason, he also had his own Masonic order. And he also built Masonic lodges in Antarctica. He was raised, which means becoming a Master Mason at Federal Lodge number 1 in Washington, D.C. on March 9th, 1921. And he's also affiliated with Kane Lodge, number 454 in New York City, September 18th, 1928. The reason why the September 18th, 1928 date is that is right before he got on the boat to leave to Antarctica. It was in late 1928 when Byrd began his first expedition to Antarctica. And he took the boat called the City of New York. This boat right here, he took it to Antarctica. But before he got on this boat to leave for Antarctica, his stop right before that was at the Kane Lodge number 454 in New York City in September of 1928.
Admiral Byrd claimed that he found the entrance to inner Earth when he went to Antarctica. So if this is true, he probably had the Agarthans doing rituals.
One thing that I like to point out about the moon, and I learned this subsequently, that there, depends on how you count them, say 209 moons in the solar system. If you went and looked at all the moons around every planet, because some of them have multiple ones. So there are a bunch of them. None of them, as would be expected mathematically, perfectly occlude the sun. They do not have eclipses.
Do we know that for a fact?
Yeah. What's the likelihood of one object that's in front of you, between you and another object, being perfectly matching it? And this is what causes it. The moon is 1/400th the diameter of the sun, but the sun is 400 times further away. Those two numbers needed to meet to make it right in the middle. The likelihood of any one object doing that, it's much more likely it's going to be a tad bigger, a tad smaller, bigger, smaller. But ours, for whatever reason, and it also always faces us, we've got an unusual moon. Yeah, kind of makes you think somebody put it there.
It definitely seems highly improbable that the moon just happens to be in a perfect position for a total eclipse, but that's what confirms my belief that this really is an intelligent design.
This is the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Alice Springs. This little X marks the spot of a location of a facility known as Pine Gap. Pine Gap is one of the largest, probably the largest, national security agency facilities on planet Earth. The NSA is one of our most secretive agencies. Well, NSA has a facility at Pine Gap, and apparently right underneath the Pine Gap facility is a gigantic extraterrestrial facility.
Now, for many years, I was impatient as hell about my government's refusal to address the issue and share it with us. You guys are the ones who are paying the bills. You're paying for the programs. You're paying for this enormous project over here at Groom Lake, just a few miles away. They're spending $50 billion of your tax money every year under black projects.
I've heard about Pine Gap before, and I don't doubt that there's a lot of money being spent on black projects. He just needs to show some receipts for the UFO facility part. Show us a declassified document or something, because this sounds like Australia's Area 51. It's either one of those strong lasers or somebody just got beamed up.
A Bank for International Settlements, commonly known as the Central Bank for Central Banks, has been working closely with the BRICS bloc coalition, specifically China, to launch a new central bank digital currency CBDC platform. This platform is dubbed Project M-Bridge. And while it's been in the works for a while, this week there was a new release that caught my attention. Not only because the platform's viable, but because they accepted a 5th full-time member. That member is no one other than Saudi Arabia. Now, the reason why this is so important and so concerning to the US dollar is because Saudi Arabia is, of course, part of OPEC, the oil-producing countries. And Saudi Arabia, in particular, is key to the United States' dominance as having the global reserve currency.
If the BRICS currency turns out to be successful, then we might need to send Nick Saban on a recruiting visit to Saudi Arabia to get them back, like he's recruiting a quarterback back in his Alabama days.
ZeroFoxFK was setting up his Xbox Kinect during a live stream when he captured a shadow entity peering at him, but it vanished quickly. Despite trying various camera settings, the figure never returned.
For his sake, he's lucky it didn't return. I would not be trying to summon whatever that is back.
Yo ahora mismo estoy entre quemar la casa y mudarme para Jamaica. Que sí, todo lo vimos. Hoy yo no duermo tranquilo. No duermo tranquilo.
And that has to be his pet tarantula with how calm he was. My soul would leave my body. Word on the street is that his cerebrospinal fluid around his brain is still spinning to this day. They should have hit the emergency stop. But that was the video, guys. Don't forget to sub up, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.